Hey guys, Jack from On Wrist back with another video. When you think about a casual watch to wear every single day, you probably think of a few different things. Something that's pretty durable, easy to read, cheap maybe. All those things keeping in mind, I want to present to you the Casio A178, which is this bad boy. And I want to talk about it as a very good budget option for an everyday watch. So let's get right into the review. So we're going to be taking a look at this, the Casio A178. So taking a look at this watch, it's pretty much what you expect in a Casio. It has a day, date, and month function. It has your standard light because it is a digital watch. It has a couple different modes, an alarm function, which is pretty good at reminding you to take pills or to, just for any little thing you want to remember. I probably wouldn't use it every single day for a standard alarm to wake up, but definitely good for reminders. You have a stopwatch, which is basically something that makes this whole thing a chronograph, which is pretty interesting. And then you have the dual time, which for me is just set to the same time just because I don't really need it at this moment, but good to have as well. And so, yeah, I mean, obviously it's sort of the standard package of a Casio, but it's a little different. It's not the classic A168, which is essentially just the stainless steel version of the F91W. And it's a little bit different. It has that bigger screen, which in my opinion looks a little bit more modern. It almost reminds me of an Apple Watch from afar, and some people have actually asked to see what kind of bracelet I had in my Apple Watch, and I told them it's not even an Apple Watch, it's a Casio. And that's probably just because of the way it looks from afar, being steel or looking like it is steel, and having that bigger screen. And the one thing you want to keep in mind with this is that this is not actually steel on the case. It is actually a plastic that looks like a steel. That's pretty shiny. And it matches fairly well with the actual stainless steel bracelet. Now, this is real stainless steel. Has a pretty cheap clasp and folding mechanism. It just hooks on here and it, snaps in place. It says Casio right there. And it, has a little bit of excess, depending on where your setting is. But fairly cheap, but gets the job done for sure. And, in my opinion, this is a great watch for anyone who is looking to wear something to work or every single day and just not want to have to really worry about it too much. And, someone who doesn't have a whole lot to spend on a watch. I mean, this is a $20 Casio, and you can get this pretty much all day for under $20 on sites like Amazon. So in terms of cost, you're going to get, a nice deal. And, I think it's also great for someone like myself who is a collector. Hopefully you watched my State of the Collection video, which I'll link in the top right corner. But, I have a 6-watch collection, and I still find a lot of time to rotate this in a decent amount, probably an average 2 or 3 days a week. And, part of that's just because it's comfy, it's casual, it's easy to read. I wore it to school a lot when I was taking a test, and I just don't want to have to think about reading an analog watch. I mean, as lazy as that sounds, it's just easy to read, and I can just, quickly glance at it and tell the time. And I think it does a lot really well, especially, again, you're just keeping in mind that price of $20. And, it's good because if someone doesn't want to spend $500 on a Swiss automatic watch, and they don't really want an Apple Watch because they don't really feel like they need it, or whatever the situation is, this is pretty much there to be your source of timekeeping without really having to go and spend $300 plus on some kind of watch, smart watch or mechanical watch. I actually also made a video about that, whether you should be buying a smartwatch or mechanical watch, so I'll leave that in the top right corner as well. But this is a perfect in-between. It's obviously digital and does a lot for you without overdoing it, without it being overly complicated. And I think that's why it's good for a lot of people that maybe aren't the most technologically savvy, but still want something that's going to do a lot for them. And I just think it's a perfect in-between. And, like I said, I wear it to work, and I wear it a decent amount of the time. And this is coming from someone who has a Rolex, who has, Omega, some other pretty nice watches, and it still finds a lot of wrist time. So I think for that, hopefully you can see that this is something that is truly, a nice piece and something that I truly appreciate, and I see the value in it a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much the review. So yeah, that's my review of the Casio A178. And, you know, I think it's a great watch for anybody. I mean, for me, as someone who is already a collector and likes watches, it's perfect for me. It's something more casual, more fun, I can just put on and not worry about. But I think it's also great for really anybody who is just interested in wearing a watch and wants just the basics, the bare bones, and the functions that come along with that. You know, the stopwatch, the dual time, obviously the day, date, month, all those types of things. And I think for most people, probably 99% of people, that's gonna be perfectly fine as something they wear every single day. And like I said, as someone who likes watches myself, I still find it a very fun watch to rotate in every once in a while. And again, for $20, you really can't go wrong. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, please subscribe and leave a like. Leave any comments or questions down below. And that's pretty much it. I also ask you to check out my Instagram at JackOnWrist. I have all the photos of my watches on there. And that's pretty much it. So like I said, please subscribe and hope you enjoyed.